Good morning. It is 6:41. Welcome back to a great day on this Tuesday, 18th of June. Tuesdays mean we have a visit from Ron the car guy. And he's going to get rid of your stinky car.
That's right.
Help you get the stink out.
You get in your car. I had an old Taurus years ago, black Taurus, especially this time of year. I would dread going into because I would turn the air conditioner on. It would smell like a dead mouse.
Yeah. I had one or two cars that smelled like a sock.
The socks I can help you with. The dead mouse, it was probably a dead mouse.
and things would fly out of the ducts, too, like little chunks would fly out.
Oh, gross!
Yeah, the fur and those little claws, that should have been a warning
indication.
sign.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the garbage or something that might be stuck in the car. We're talking about a different kind of stink.
A mob informant in the trunk.
Yeah, Jimmy
Hoffa's body.
The duct work.
Yeah, we can only mask that a little bit.
Yeah, but you're talking about stinky cars.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And I think at some point in life, everybody's probably experienced this. They get into their car on a hot day, and they turn the air conditioning on, or first time in the spring, they turn the air conditioning on, and you've got that musty, moldy smell that sometimes people refer to as like dirty socks.
Right. Yeah.
And you run it for a little bit and it kind of goes away. It actually doesn't really go away. You just kind of get used to it.
Say your sensory overload. Yeah.
Exactly. And we get asked that a lot. You know, what is that smell? Why is it there? Because it wasn't there when the car was new. If it was, they wouldn't be able to sell new cars. And what it actually is you're smelling. There's mold, mildew, and bacteria growing in the air conditioning part of your car. And that's what's creating that smell.
So it's blowing in your face
Absolutely.
When you turn it on.
And if you get somebody that's really sensitive or has a lot of allergies and stuff, I mean, it makes them sick.
Really?
I mean, exactly. Yeah. It's not. I mean, we make fun about the smell and stuff here, but I mean, it really is bad stuff growing in there that you should be concerned about.
So why is it growing in the air conditioning?
Great question, Jackie.
Thank you, Ron.
This is actually mounted under the dash of your vehicle. Matter of fact, 2 weeks ago we replaced this on the KCWI truck because it was leaking. The air conditioning didn't work.
While you're at it, could you replace a few more things on the KCWI?
That's the only thing that was amiss.
Could you just replace the KCWI?
I'm telling you right now, that was a stretch with Ted, okay? But anyway, sorry, Ted. Anyway, this mounts, we'll go back to air conditioning 101. The way air conditioning works, this is called an evaporator, and it mounts under the dash of your car. And the refrigerant, or Freon as it's sometimes called, goes in through these lines and comes out, and this works like a radiator. There's refrigerant that goes through here, and the fan blows air from your car through the grid work here, and as the air is going through, it removes the heat from the air. The refrigerant that's circulating through here, so the air feels cold. That's how air conditioning works. As it's removing that heat, it makes this component basically sweat. It gets wet, and water runs down off of it, and it goes into a plastic drain and drips outside your car. That's where the water that you see when your air conditioning comes from. It's because it's removing the heat from the air, which in turn makes so this thing gets flooded. It gets saturated with water. It's just running down off of here all the time. Well, then all of a sudden you stop your car, you turn your car off, the fan gets turned off, and this is still sitting there all wet. And then it gets hot inside the car. So now you've got, just like a bathroom, you've got a high moisture condition, and now you add heat to it, and bacteria and mildew start to grow deep inside the fins of this component. And then over time, you start to get the smell because this thing's, growing mold and mildew and all the other nasty stuff. So when you first turn it on, you got that big whiff that comes through there. So that's the cause of what you're smelling, and so you actually have mold and mildew that you would clean in your bathroom if you had it, growing deep inside your car, where it's going to take 4 or 5 hours to get to it if you wanted to clean it. And the problem was so bad on some makes and models back in the early 2000s. Cadillac was one of them. They put what they called an afterblow kit on a car, and what it would do is after you shut the car off and walked away, it'd wait like 10 minutes so you weren't around, didn't think something was wrong, and the computer would automatically turn the fan back on, and it would start blowing air through here for 3 or 4 minutes to try to dry this thing out so you didn't end up with the mold and mildew growth.
Okay.
Interesting idea.
Makes sense.
So if you have that problem on your car, you have that smell, there is something you can try first yourself.
Okay.
Most of you. Some of you just smell.
Well, is that the only way of really knowing that you have an issue is by the smell, or is there a maintenance that you should do to prevent that?
You know, you could get into a maintenance type deal. That's a great question. It's probably a really good idea to do that. It would be real simple to do, and it's the same process that I'm going to suggest you try if you have that problem. But that you know, one thing you could do, Jackie, is before you shut your car off. And I'm going to say this because it will work. It will solve the problem, but nobody's going to do it. Is you could turn the air conditioning off, but leave the blower on vent, the fan, and let it sit there and run for 3 or 4 minutes before you turn the car off, because it would blow air through here and dry it out.
Right.
That would definitely solve the problem.
But people aren't going to do it.
Well, who's going to sit in a hot car for 3 or 4
Nobody's gonna
minutes?
do it, no.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So there's your answer that you're not going to do. But something else you can do if you've got the problem, the thing to try, I think Lou's got a picture here, would be to disinfect it. And the way to do that would be to get something that kills bacteria. I mean, Lysol comes to mind because the label says it kills 99.9% of all bacteria and mildew.
Yeah.
But you can see, we call it the cowl area, but it's right by where the wipers are on the car. That great area that you've got there is where all the air is pulled in for the heater and air conditioning on the car. That's where it comes in.
Okay.
So first off, if you open your hood, and that thing's covered with leaves and twigs and stuff like that.
Right.
Probably need to remove that.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be a good start. Yeah, exactly.
They say simultaneously.
And it may be causing part of your smell. But once you get that all cleared away, start the car, and with the fan on and the air conditioning running.
Just dump a bunch of potpourri in there.
Well, that would mask it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Spray some Brute in there.
No.
Jason knows about all these odor-covering chemicals. I don't know.
He's a family man. His entire house smells like Brute with 3 kids running around.
High karate.
But what you would do is you take the can of Lysol and with the air conditioning running and the fan on high, spray probably 3/4, if not the whole can. Just keep spraying
So it
it in
sucks
there.
it in.
Yeah, and it'll suck it in, and it will blow it through the evaporator, which will help to kill the bacteria and the mildew that's growing in there. And I mean, after you've got most of the can unloaded in there, just shut the car off and leave it sit for 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, give the Lysol a chance to actually
work.
Yeah, kill what's in there.
Yeah.
And
You
then
should be able to smell it coming out of your vents.
yeah.
Okay.
You might even crack a window, because I mean, you unload a whole can of
It's gonna
Lysol
be
into your
powerful,
car.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. You're gonna have other. Yeah, you won't want to get in the car. But that should take care of it. In extreme cases, when it doesn't, there are kits available professionally to car guys. And what this particular kit does, there's a couple of different ones, is we actually go to the plastic housing under your dash where this is buried and hidden. I mean, it's 4 or 5 hours to get to one of these. But we go in there and we make a small hole in the case, and we'll unload this product in there, and it goes in and it just encases everything with a foam. It's like a thick foam, and it goes in there and it sticks to everything, and it will help clean and disinfect.
But does the foam go away so the air can go through afterwards?
The foam, we leave it in there for about 20 minutes. The foam will actually dissipate and run down.
Okay.
And then we follow it up with like a supercharged version of Lysol. And then as it runs and the condensation builds up and stuff, it'll wash that foam out. We can actually see it run out underneath the car.
Okay, so it will be washed out.
Exactly, and it does work too.
Okay.
Okay, well, so how much does something like that cost? Because you said it takes about 4 or 5 hours to even get to that.
Well, if you're going to replace one of these, I mean, and I've never seen a smell. Usually you replace these because they leak. But if you went in and wanted to remove this and physically clean it, I mean, you're going to spend, $500, $800, $1,000 if you want to buy one of these. It's not an inexpensive repair.
Right.
But because of the smell, you would probably never replace one of these because of the smell. I mean, if it was that bad, then the people were probably on an episode of Hoarders as well, and they made enough money off that they can just get a different car.
Okay.
Right.
All right. What does the cleaner like that usually run?
That runs about $69 to go ahead and do that. But the Lysol that I showed through the vents,
That might be the answer.
that'll usually take care of it.
Try that first. Okay.
All right. For these and other smelly tips, where can they go?
They can go to Westside Auto Pros.
It always smells good there.
Smells like daisies.
Yeah, you caught me off guard on that one. Really?
Hey, point for us.
There you go. Yeah, on the board.
Finally caught
Blue.
Ron off guard. Okay.
No, you can go to our website, westsideautopros.com, and you can contact me through there. There's a Find Us tab if you want to find out where we're at, and I'm just here to help answer your questions.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Awesome job again, man. People will be talking about this today, I guarantee you. It's 6:51. Totally serious news coming up next.